Have you ever noticed how the world is loudest when you are trying to hear yourself think? Phones buzzing, emails piling up, obligations knocking life seems to scream at you. But what if I told you that the most profound guidance, the clearest direction, comes not from the noise outside, but from the quiet inside? There is a voice that doesn't compete with the world. A voice that whispers when the chaos is at its peak, and it waits patiently for you to be still enough to listen. This is not a voice you can hear with your ears. It resonates in your soul, a gentle pull toward clarity, purpose, and faith. Many of us have ignored it, thinking we needed more information, more activity, more movement. Yet the truth is, sometimes moving too fast makes us deaf to the answers already within us. Imagine yourself in a room where silence reigns. No distractions, no agenda, just you and your thoughts. In that stillness, there's an invitation, a chance to see the paths hidden by noise, to hear the guidance you've been searching for. And here's the secret: God's voice doesn't shout, it speaks softly, like a spark in the dark, igniting insight and wisdom that the world cannot provide. But here's something most people miss: the louder the world becomes, the louder this voice grows, but only if you listen. It's in these quiet moments that your faith strengthens, your decisions gain clarity, and your heart aligns with the purpose you were born for. You might feel fear, doubt, or impatience at first. That's natural. The retention trick here is simple. Don't try to control what comes next. Just stay silent and let the answers find you. Tonight, when the day finally ends and the world goes quiet, ask yourself one question: am I ready to hear what has been trying to reach me all along? Because it's in these moments, away from the noise, that miracles begin. And if you can stay with this silence, not fighting it, not filling it with your own thoughts, you'll discover guidance so clear it changes everything. Lean into the stillness. And remember, sometimes the loudest voice you will ever hear is the one that whispers when the world goes silent. Now that you've begun to sit in the silence, you might notice something extraordinary happening. Thoughts that used to cloud your mind start to settle. A sense of calm washes over you. It's subtle at first, like the faintest brush of a breeze on your face, but it's unmistakable. This is the presence of something greater guiding you toward clarity. The quiet isn't empty, it's filled with direction, insight, and purpose if you know where to look. Faith isn't just about belief, it's about listening. And listening requires stillness. In the noise of the everyday, it's easy to forget that God's voice doesn't follow schedules or timetables. It comes in moments of pause, in the gaps between obligations, in the quiet corners of your life that you often overlook. You find yourself asking, why now, why here? But the truth is, it has always been here, waiting for you to notice. Consider this. Many of the greatest breakthroughs, the moments when destiny shifted, came when people dared to step away from the chaos. Moses didn't hear the voice of God in the crowd. He heard it from the silence of a burning bush. Elijah didn't find answers in the wind or the earthquake. He found it in the still, small voice. And just like them, your breakthrough is not in the noise, it's in the calm, in the reflection, in the moments you dare to stop long enough to listen. Here's the challenge: your mind will resist. Will try to fill silence with worry, distraction, and fear. That's normal. The retention trick is simple but powerful. Whenever your thoughts try to pull you back into the noise, anchor yourself with a single question: what am I meant to hear in this quiet? Ask it repeatedly and watch how clarity begins to emerge. As you practice this, you'll notice the subtle guidance shaping your choices. Small decisions suddenly feel obvious. Paths that seemed confusing or blocked now appear illuminated. Faith and reflection are not abstract concepts, they are tools. Tools that, when wielded in silence, create clarity, direction, and a sense of peace that the world can't give. Remember, the quiet moments are not empty, they are sacred. They are where your heart connects with purpose, where your soul remembers its strength, and where God whispers the truths your spirit has been craving all along. By now, you've felt the power of stillness. You've begun to see that quiet isn't empty, it's alive with guidance. But how do you translate this awareness into action? How do you ensure that when God's voice speaks, you actually respond? The first step is attention. Life is busy, and if you're constantly distracted, you'll miss the subtle nudges. Pay attention to the patterns in your thoughts. Notice the repeated ideas, the inspirations that appear when you're not forcing them. Often, God's guidance shows up in subtle ways: a feeling of peace about a decision, an unexpected insight during prayer, or a sudden clarity in the middle of reflection. These aren't coincidences, they are invitations to move forward with purpose. The second step is trust. Faith without trust is like a radio trying to tune to a station in a storm. You might hear static, but if you trust the signal, the message becomes clear. Trust that the answers you in quiet moments are real, even if they challenge your expectations. Many of us hesitate because we're afraid of making mistakes or because the guidance feels inconvenient. But trust is the bridge between hearing and acting. It turns whispers into breakthroughs. Third, take deliberate action. God's voice doesn't simply entertain ideas, it inspires movement. Once you feel direction, respond immediately. It might be a conversation you've been avoiding, a habit you need to change, or a choice that seems risky but aligns with your purpose. The quiet moments prepare you for action, and your willingness to act strengthens the connection, creating a cycle of clarity and growth. Here's a practical exercise. Set aside a few minutes each day for intentional silence. No phone, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. Ask one question aloud or in your mind. What should I focus on today that aligns with my purpose? Listen carefully. Write down whatever comes, even small insights. Over time, you'll start to notice patterns, confirmations, and a sense of guidance that feels unmistakably real. Remember, life isn't about constant noise or endless activity. It's about tuning into the stillness where clarity, faith, and purpose converge. Those who master this practice discover that decisions become easier, stress diminishes, and the path forward feels less like guesswork and more like destiny unfolding. Think about a time in your life when everything felt chaotic. Maybe it was a decision you couldn't make, a relationship in turmoil, or a path that seemed blocked at every turn. During those moments, it's easy to feel lost, powerless, and alone. But here's the truth. In those exact moments, your greatest guidance is available if you pause and listen. Consider this. People who have faced overwhelming uncertainty often describe a turning point that came quietly. It wasn't a loud announcement or a dramatic revelation. It was a moment of stillness, a pause where insight and courage appeared. That's the power of God's voice. In quiet moments, it transforms doubt into clarity, fear into confidence, and confusion into purpose. You might ask, how do I know it's real? How do I not just imagining it? The answer is simple. Look at the results. When you act on the guidance you receive in silence, doors open. Situations align. Relationships improve. Opportunities emerge that you never expected. These are signs that the quiet voice you are hearing is not just in your head, it's guiding you toward the life you were meant to live. Now, imagine what could happen if you embraced this practice daily. If you paused, reflected, and listened to guidance in every decision. How different would your life feel if you approach challenges not with anxiety, but with a calm certainty? How much more confident would you be, knowing that you are connected to a source of wisdom far greater than yourself? The retention trick here is remembering this. Every great transformation starts with a moment of pause. Your silence is not wasted time, it's preparation. It's where your soul aligns with purpose, where your faith is strengthened, and where clarity is born. The people who achieve extraordinary lives aren't necessarily louder, busier, or stronger. They are those who have learned to listen when the world is quiet and act when the guidance comes. So tonight, take a moment, sit in silence, reflect, ask the questions you've been too busy to ask, and watch as your life slowly begins to shift. The transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it begins the moment you decide to listen. As we reach the close of this journey, reflect for a moment on everything we've explored: the power of stillness, the clarity that emerges when you pause, and the quiet voice guiding you toward purpose. Life often tempts us to fill every moment with noise, activity, and distraction, but the truth is, the most profound wisdom comes when we stop, breathe, and listen. Your quiet moments are sacred. They are the space where faith grows, where clarity takes shape, and where your life's next steps are revealed. The challenge is simple. Don't wait for life to slow down. Make the choice to step away from the chaos, if only for a few minutes each day. In that sacred silence, your soul reconnects with guidance that is patient, profound, and unwavering. And if you want to continue this journey of spiritual insight and awareness, I highly recommend watching the next video. God will expose the pretenders around you. There, you will learn to recognize the influences in your life that are masking as friends or mentors, and how faith and discernment can protect your purpose. Remember this: your ability to hear and act on guidance is a skill you can strengthen. Sit in silence, reflect daily, trust the small nudges, and take action when clarity strikes. Life isn't about constant noise or reaction. It's about alignment, purpose, and listening to the whispers that shape your destiny. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe to Wisdom Recorder and click the like button. Stay connected, because we are here to guide you through moments of reflection, growth, and awakening. Your quiet moments are powerful, and your life is waiting for you to listen. Always remember, wisdom recorded your knowledge source.